Jai Shri Ram. So, we were discussing about some of the very commonly used Ayurvedic herbs and spices that constitute the secret of living a healthy life for every individual. These commonly used Ayurvedic herbs and spices that constitute the secret of living a healthy lifestyle are collectively known as the dynamic dozen. The first thing under the dynamic dozen is the turmeric, which we had discussed earlier. But then just for a recap, turmeric is high on its antioxidant properties, anti-inflammatory properties, brain function preservation and heart protection. When it comes to ginger, ginger is a wonderful digestive healer with anti-inflammatory properties, and it's being used widely in Ayurvedic medicine to fight and prevent various infections. Ginger is also used to treat nausea during the pregnancy. It helps in treating vomiting after chemotherapy. It helps in treating nausea after surgery. So yes, ginger is definitely a wonderful digestive healer with lot of medicinal properties. And the third one is cinnamon. Cinnamon is a natural antimicrobial with anti-inflammatory properties. It is also an excellent spice which is useful in treating metabolic issues like elevated blood sugar and abnormal lipids. Fourth one is cumin. It's just loaded with nutrients and a great source of iron and minerals such as manganese, potassium, calcium, magnesium and phosphorus. It also results in effective management of blood sugar levels, normalizes cholesterol and supports bones. Fifth one is the black pepper. It is referred to as the gold mine of medicinal properties, and it is also known to have anti-inflammatory, pain relieving, immunity boosting and fever reducing properties. Fenugreek helps in lowering blood sugar, improves cholesterol and triglyceride levels. Seventh one is clove. So clove is an antioxidant superpower which reduces inflammation, supports wound healing and it relieves pain. Eighth one is fennel. It is one of the most valuable spices in Ayurveda as it is known to strengthen digestion, reduce inflammation and flush out toxins from the body. Ninth one is coriander. Coriander is extremely helpful for digestive problems if the coriander is being used in the form of oil. It is definitely going to be effective in fighting innumerable infections. 10th one is allspice. Allspice contains nearly 25 active antioxidant compounds, and this allspice has been shown to have antiviral and antibacterial qualities to fight infection. It is also known to have analgesic properties to help in pain relief. 11th one is curry leaves, which are commonly used in traditional Ayurvedic treatment to help fight diabetes, heart disease and chronic inflammation. The last but not the least is saffron, which is shown to be effective in uplifting your mood and is thus used in treating depression. So it also relieves symptoms of premenstrual syndrome, which is also known as PMS. We are going to look at some of the common Ayurvedic herbs and spices that can be used to cure common ailments easily right from your home. So the first thing is adrak. Adrak is nothing but ginger. It is used for curing sore throat, cold and cough. Ajwain for piles, indigestion, gas and loss of appetite. Amla for bleeding gums and diabetes. Tvak or dalchini is used for indigestion, vomiting and loss of appetite. Dhania is used for treating dehydration and intestinal worms. Elaichi is nothing but elaka, what we use at home, which is helpful in treating cold, cough and vomiting. Haldi or haridra is used for skin problems, wounds or ulcers, cold and cough. Hing is used for abdominal pain and toothache. And then lavender oils, it can be used for treating insomnia, which is basically sleeplessness during the night time. Fennel seeds can be used for indigestion and gas problem. So there are like a number of practices which we can follow at home to just reap the benefits of an Ayurvedic diet. Some of them like eating food with a healing purpose, holding an innovative experience with food through an appealing, fresh and inviting look, restoring the mind-body connection. Food should be inclusive in nature by containing essential herbs and spices and components which make up a balanced meal. Prepare food organically to remain disease-free, meaning you just have to keep consuming fresh foods and not the food that we get from outside. Incorporating a diverse variety of foods to boost health benefits. Foods should be calming and transformative in nature to maintain a positive aura. Food preparation and consumption should support communal practices by having meals with your loved ones or your friends or anybody for that matter, further enhancing the experience of eating. Practices cannot be followed blindly. There are a couple of routines that can be followed as per seasonal and weather patterns. So apart from all of these practices, we have to really ensure whether the food we are consuming today is adulterated or not. So I am going to give you a couple of tips where you can use them at your home to test whether those food products are adulterated or not. We are going to start by testing milk and milk products at the first place. So that the first test we are going to do is for milk. So what are we going to test in this is that whether the milk is containing water or not. So it's basically detection of water in milk. So all that we need for this is a polished slanting surface. Say like your vegetable cutting board. There are certain vegetable cutting boards which are not made out of plastic. So you can use that if that is there in your home, or you can use any other polished slanting surface. All that you have to do is just pour a drop of milk that you consume every day. Ideal to be a raw milk, the milk which is not boiled. Just put a drop of milk on that polished slanting surface. Observe the way the milk flows on that slanting surface. If the milk that is being poured on a polished slanting surface is a pure milk, then it would either stay or flow slowly, leaving a white trail behind. Leaving a white trail behind in the sense you will find the mark on the polished slanting surface. A white color mark will be visible on the surface. If the milk is adulterated with water, then it will immediately flow without leaving a mark. The next thing is if you want to detect detergent in a milk. I know you would have not even thought about a milk getting adulterated with detergent, but unfortunately there are certain milk products which are adulterated with detergent. So in case you want to test that, all that you have to do is just take 5 ml of milk in a transparent glass and pour equal amount of water to it. Just shake the contents thoroughly. Suppose say the milk is adulterated with detergent, it forms dense lather. In case it is a pure milk, it will form very thin foam layer due to agitation. The next thing is detection of mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes and other starches in ghee and or butter. All that you have to do is take about half teaspoon of ghee or butter in a glass bowl. A transparent bowl basically, okay. If it is not a glass bowl, that's fine, but at least in a transparent bowl, and add 2 to 3 drops of tincture of iodine to it. So if you can see blue color formation on the sample after adding tincture of iodine, it indicates the presence of mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes and other starches to that sample. So this is one method. The next is for checking if the oil and fats that we consume are adulterated. So detection of other oils in coconut oil, this is the first thing that we are going to do. So just take coconut oil in a glass again, place this glass in refrigerator, not the freezer, in the refrigerator for 30 minutes or so. After refrigeration, if the oil solidifies, then it is coconut oil. Suppose say the oil is adulterated, then you can find that the other oils remain as a separate layer. apart from the coconut oil. So if you want to detect sugar solution in honey, okay, you can do this thing, like take a glass of water, transparent glass of water, and add a drop of honey to the glass. Pure honey will not disperse in water. If the drop of honey disperses in water, it indicates the presence of added sugar. This is the first test. Second, like you can take a cotton wick dipped in pure honey and light with a matchstick. Pure honey, if it's going to be pure honey, then it will definitely burn. If adulterated, the presence of water will not allow the honey to burn. If it does, it will produce a cracking sound in it. The next thing is detection of chalk powder in sugar. So you can take a transparent glass of water, dissolve about 5 grams of sample in water. Okay, the sugar that you are using at home, just dissolve 5 grams of sample in water. If sugar is mixed with chalk, the adulterant will settle down at the bottom. If you want to detect papaya seeds and black pepper, just add some amount of black pepper to a glass of water. If it is pure black pepper, it will settle at the bottom. If it is adulterated, then the papaya seeds float on the surface of water. If you want to detect artificial or soluble colors in chili powder, you can do this, like just sprinkle chili powder on surface of the water taken in a glass tumbler. The artificial colorants will immediately start descending in color streaks. If it is adulterated, if it is going to be a pure one, it will remain as it is. If it is adulterated, then the artificial colorants will immediately start descending in color streaks. It's visible, you can just see all those color streaks with your eyes. We can test detection of malachite green in green vegetables like bitter gourd, green chilli and others too. Just take a cotton piece, okay. A tissue paper would also do, a normal wet cloth or a tissue paper or a cotton piece, okay. Just soak it in water or vegetable oil. Rub the outer surface of a small part of green vegetable or chilli. If the cotton turns green, then it is adulterated with malachite green. Generally what we think is, even if we get that green color on our hands after touching green chilli or green vegetables, we think that the color is very natural. It's actually not natural. If the green vegetables or the green chilli is not adulterated, that green color will not stick to our hands. But if it's adulterated, then the malachite green, which is being used for adulterating that green vegetable or green chilli, will definitely stick in our hands. So we can test in that way. And then for testing like green peas, you can take a little amount of green peas in a transparent glass, add water to it and mix well. Let it stand for about half an hour or so. Again, like you can clear separation of color in water indicates adulteration. If you are able to see green color present in the water after mixing it and after letting it stand for half an hour or so, if you find that the color of water has changed to green, then definitely it proves that the green piece is being adulterated. If the green piece is not adulterated, then the water will be clear. It will not have any color. So these are just couple of tests that you can do at home for checking if the products are like adulterated or not. I mean, I am just giving you a couple of tests that can be done at home. There are even more tests available for testing it at home, but these tests should be like good enough to test if your food is adulterated or not. At least couple of food products that we test now, we can be sure that it's not adulterated. If it's adulterated, definitely we're not going to buy that product again. So just to ensure that we are safe and people around us are safe by consuming these products at home. So just check that, and then like you can actually do a safe cooking, stay safe too.